everyone, right here playing Farming Simulator 22, and welcome back to the Upper Mississippi River Valley. We are almost done with planting corn here. We do have some more field work to do here once we're done planting corn, by the way. We got some weeding and stuff like that to do. But anyway, we got, I think, one more field of corn, or is it two? Let me check here. I think it's either one. Yeah, one more field, and then we got to finish up field 43. We're pretty much picking up where we left off here from last episode. I kind of wanted to finish field 43 on screen just so you folks could see like how much, or maybe I should say how little it takes to plant that field with, again, we're planting that field with the John Deere DB120. That is 48 rows, 120 feet wide. Yeah, let's just say that planter's maybe just a little overkill for that field. So anyway, first things first, though, I'm going to see if we can top the planter off here before we head to the next field. That is it 45? Yeah, field 45 there. So we're close enough. Hey, look at that. We are close enough. And you know what? I probably need to fire the truck up because in order for the seeds to dispense, we need to have the truck running for some strange, unbeknown reason to me. No idea why. And I'm being like serious about that one, because like, why in the world would I need to have the truck running for the seeds to? Oh, we got the seeds. Let's hope not. Oh no. Okay, we just probably switched tanks. I bet. There we go. Okay, we're good. We're good. Got to say, I do like this trailer oven. Again, this is the Buffalo Creek Solutions, or the BCS trailer here. Has the seed tender on it and has a couple of tanks for liquid fertilizer as well. I think it will also hold herbicide if I remember correctly, so you could use it for that as well if you wanted to. Although obviously in this case, having this this trailer here is set up for planting with the tender that's on it there for seed and solid fertilizer too, of course. By the way, I don't know if it'll hold anything else or not, but oh, it'll probably do lime, too, if I had to guess. I'm not sure, but of course, when it comes to lime, everyone, the little bit that trailer holds probably is barely worth it. So when it comes to lime, you need something that's going to like hold a lot of lime. Typically, these fields, I mean, you're going through a lot of lime, so okay, and I'm just going to set this field up with course play here. This will actually be one of the few fields that I've actually been completely planted with course play here this time around. Well, at least as far as the corn fields go. I don't remember. Boy, I don't see a whole lot of missing spots on these fields either, so I'm guessing a lot of these fields I've planted myself here. 42, I know. 42 at least was finished by course play. Oh, yeah, 41 has the telltale course play planting lines in it. You can see them right there. Those little triangles. 42, I know I did some of that field myself. I don't know. We've done a lot of planting here this time around myself, everyone, so not that I'm complaining, by the way. That's probably another one of my favorite activities here in the game. Although harvesting, again, still definitely the number one. Oh, wrong button. Not to do that one. There we go. Okay, course play. Number of headlands. 2? Well, thinking 3. 3 probably would be better. Just to be safe. Okay, first waypoint. We're still set on corn. Perfect. Drive the course. And off you go there, course play. Do a good job for me, huh? Interesting, we have... Must have tilled this field a little bit more here. Got stubble left on this field here, apparently. Whatever. We are, of course, not done planting by any means here this year, everyone. Once we are done harvesting here, we will be planting fields 42 and 41. Is that? Oh, and let's see what's here. What else we got? 48? Sunflower. Yeah, okay, so we got sunflowers and 47 here again. So, yeah, 48, 42, and 41 will be our soybean fields here once those fields are done being harvested. And we'll be doing some more double crops there. Anyway, let's get GPS set up here. We've almost got... Or no, is this one headland? That's right, this is only one headland yet, right? Yeah, we've only got one headland done here so far, everyone. We are working on the second headland here. So let's get GPS going here a minute. We need 0 degrees, I think, right? Yep. home that on the tractor. Turn the planner on, lower the planner down, lock on the GPS, and away we go. This will be the second headland pass here. So again, this is what I was pointing out here last episode, I think. Look how much of the field is done just with one headland so far. Now we're about to complete the second headland here. There's going to be like a little triangle left in the middle here. We'll have to go find another job here this episode because this won't... maybe what I should have done, I would have just taken over for that and done the headland myself. You know, again, course play usually does pretty good going up and down. Field 42, maybe not. But other than that, course play usually does good going up and down. It's the headlands that course play usually really likes to bung up and miss large sections. I don't know. I've played around with it before, but I don't know. Maybe you folks have had better experience than I have. Maybe you've really got the numbers tweaked in, but yeah, I don't know. Course play just likes to miss stuff on the headlands, I guess. Again, I have been able to get it like really close to being perfect. It depends a lot on the field here as well. If you have a square or rectangular field, obviously you can set course play for sharp corners. That will typically really help. But again, this particular map, everyone does not lend itself well to that. Yeah, there are some square-er fields, but most of the fields are not like perfectly square or rectangular. Most of them have some, rounded corners, large sweeps in them, bump outs, stick outs. It's, yeah, just all around not a good combination for course play. Again, if you play around with the numbers enough, Evan, you might be able to make it work, but then, will it work for the next field? Probably not, if I had to guess. And then, of course, those numbers work with that planner. Well, do they work with the other planner? Do they work with that tractor? The other, yeah. Speaking of tractor, by the way, again, we are pulling this with a John Deere 8RX 410. And again, this is the John Deere DB120. Available from the official Farming Simulator mod hub, by the way. Okay, there we go. And actually a little bit larger triangle left than I thought there was. I thought there was going to be like about half of that in the middle there, but still, probably more than one pass here, I think. Just a little bit too wide for one pass. Yeah, look at that. Wow, that's all that's left. Just from 2 headlands. Again, field 43, I think, is actually probably our smallest field we own. If I'm not mistaken, I think it is the smallest. Okay, finish up the last little triangle here, and at least for myself, I will be done planting corn. Now, we do have some weeding left to do yet, and I suppose if we want to roll, I probably won't bother rolling any of the corn. We'll see once maybe have one. Maybe like the big field or something just for the fun of it. We might roll that field. Again, as I've said before, rolling isn't something I feel is necessarily monetarily worth it here in the game. Having run the numbers in the past, everyone, at the most, I've come up with I think it's like a 1.2, more closer to like 1.1. 1.1% increase in yield. For like a 1% yield increase, Evan, just, I don't know, doesn't really seem like it's worth it to me. Now, mind you, maybe on a field of this size, 1% across that entire field, I don't know, maybe, Evan. But then you go spend $100,000 on a roller and thousands of dollars on the tractor and fuel to run it, and if you hire a worker, even more thousands. I don't know, is it worth it? I'd be curious. I don't know that I've ever seen anyone actually take the time to run the numbers on that one, but if anyone has, let me know. I'd be very curious. Obviously I've run like the rudimentary numbers myself, Evan. I know what the yield potential will be from rolling. I just have not taken the time to run the actual financial money numbers as far as okay, that 1% yield increase, is it really worth it? You think about that, Evan. If that field makes $1 million, and actually it'll probably make more than that, by the way. So, you know, if that field makes $1 million, that'll be, what, 10,000, right? Am I doing the math right? So, for every $1 million that field makes, Evan, that'll be an additional $10,000. I think I'm doing the right math right on that. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. And technically, it's like 1.2% is the best I've ever gotten, everyone. So, assuming the best I've ever gotten at 1.2%, you're looking at $12,000, right? I think I'm doing the math right. Using my head here, you know, so it's a scary thing there. But, okay, let's see if we can make the turn out of the field here. I'm tempted to hop over and take over that other planter there, just do those headlands. But we'll probably just let Courseplay do it. We've got lots of weeding to do, and like I said, I'll probably take the time to roll the large field there. And again, that field, I don't know exactly how much that field will make, Kevin. I'm just going to guess here it's probably going to be more than $1 million off of that, because we do have corn. We will convert that to dry corn. And that dry corn, I'm going to guess somewhere probably between $2 and $3 million of dry corn off that field. You know, again, going back to what I was talking about there, one, if you take the time to do the math on it, the hired worker and fuel cost probably, I don't know, what do you folks think? $5,000, $10,000? Tractor, somewhere, I'm going to guess like probably somewhere around $5,000. I mean, that'd be my guess. So, by the time you're done doing the math there, assuming we get an extra let's just say $25,000. We get an extra $25,000 off that field, that one. We're going to spend $5,000, maybe 10, I don't know, in hired worker and fuel costs. So now we're down to 20. But don't worry, we still have to pay for the implement yet. You know, so let's just say we got a $100,000 roller, which actually I think is pretty close to what we have, if I remember correctly. Rollers here. Oh, actually, no, never mind. It's actually a $22,000 roll. I think, is that the one we have? Okay, so this one actually is really cheap, that one. You know, most are normal, yeah, 140,000, 110. Those are a little bit cheaper. These, if I remember correctly, I'm not sure about this one. This one might work. This one here, I'm pretty sure does not work. It only works in like one direction. I know, one of those mods that does that, right? I'm kind of annoying, but not sure what kind of mod author releases garbage like that. But I gotta say, speaking of which, that is not something I've had to complain about a whole lot here in Farming Simulator 22. Definitely something I would complain about a lot in the past versions of the game. Some of that probably has to do with the fact that most mods I get, everyone, are coming from the official Farming Simulator mod hub, or from the more reputable modders on Facebook, you know, custom modding and folks like that, right? So, you know, again, mod-wise, I haven't had a whole lot to complain about, right? We'll find a good spot to park this planter here somewhere in the back. Never did get around to putting up a shed for our equipment here. At this point, I think we've gotten to the point we would need, like, a lot of sheds. I mean, just, yeah, look at the sprawling equipment here. Yep, need a lot of sheds for that. And this is probably why a lot of farmers, the equipment is sitting outside. Especially if you're one of the much larger farmers, right? Thinking of like Mike Mitchell on YouTube, for those who watch him. Obviously, all their equipment, I think for the most part, sits outside. Their tractors, planters, combines. Yeah, I mean, how do you even begin to build a shed for all that stuff? Well, in that case, sheds. Okay. Dirty tractor. Also, something's running over here, isn't it? Why are you on yet? There we go. Okay. Thought something was running yet. So, let's see what's here. We need the weeder. Oh, you know what? It is actually right behind the tractor here. Yeah, would you look at that? Just look at that. And we'll let Courseplay do this job here, by the way. Again, as a reminder, when it comes to the weeding job here, you really can't tell where you have and haven't been. So, like, what are you supposed to do? Now, with GPS, Evan, again, I could probably make it work. Do a couple headland passes, leave lots of overlap. Would probably be good, but And again, as a reminder here, by the way, I am using the weeder here. It is essentially, once you buy the tool, well, it's not quite free either, because you do have to pay for like the hired worker and stuff and fuel, but you're not paying for any herbicide, right? So I'd like to think, and I could be wrong here, that this is a little bit cheaper way of taking care of the weeds. Plus, we can take care of the weeds right away before they come up. Speaking of weeds, by the way, should probably go check our precision farming here. We got an environmental score of 93. What's that middle one? Weed control. Okay, so that probably means I should probably get over here with the See and Spray. Ooh, that one is really low. Get over here with a See and Spray sprayer. What's up with a pH value on that one? And just hit some of these fields with the See and Spray. Yep, same story on that one. Same story on that one. Usually, and again, I don't know why one, but in my case, it is always the weed one, the weed control that needs help for some reason. I don't know why. Like, you folks look at my fields, I think I've got like nearly perfect weed control typically, right? Just the game, I think, is looking for the See and Spray. So, okay, let's get the course by course 2. That should be pretty good, I would think. Forget how wide this is. I could have just looked at course play would have told me, but that'd been too simple. Okay, off you go there, course play. Try not to miss too much, eh? Yeah. Oh well, who am I kidding? How's the planting looking over here? So he's working on. No, he actually has all the headlands done. He is just traveling around the headland now to pick his starting point, I guess. Yes, and we see the typical course play missing spots here. Apparently there were some other missing spots last time around. Those other darker triangles. There's the lighter triangles there are the missing spots from this time. And you can see on the map there too. Any question, what fields I've planted? 48, no missing spots. 47, no missing spots. 44. Was done with course play, but I did the headlands, so no missing spots. 42. Until we got over here. 41, yeah, course play. 43, good. 27, 28. Once we actually planted that entire field ourselves as well, by the way, Evan. Makes a difference when you got a 48-row planter. You can really get it done quick, right? Okay, as I was saying, let's grab the roller here as well. Hey, there's the roller. On the 9620. I wanted to say 9620R, but this is, again, not in R. Just the 9620. No lights? There we go. Yeah, okay. Wide load, coming through. It's pretty good there with the triples there, if you ask me, I've won. And mind you, Evan, this tractor's probably not as overkill as you might think here for this roller. The rollers tend to be usually quite heavy, especially when you got a 5-section roller like this. I'm not sure, right off the top of my head how much this roller would weigh, Evan, but I'm sure it's no small sum. So actually having a tractor, maybe not necessarily of this size, but, somewhere in the area, right, is almost needed for these rollers. At least, again, the ones of this size anyway. You want some extra weight there to be able to control the roller. Otherwise, if the roller is heavier than the tractor, especially if it's significantly heavier anyway, things can get a little sketchy sometimes with that. Not to mention, too, the amount of horsepower to get the roller moving. And then if you're rolling at a fairly good speed, which, again, when it comes to rolling, everyone, rolling is a job you can do at a fairly good speed. Takes horsepower to go fast. That's a good example of that, of course, that would be like the high-speed discs nowadays. Those seem to have become quite popular. But, of course, with the high-speed disc, usually you're going right around that 10-mile-per-hour mark, maybe a little faster, a little slower, somewhere in there. That's usually what they do a good job at. So when you're trying to pull an implement at 10 miles an hour, it takes a fair amount of horsepower. Obviously, like the field cultivators, Evan, you can get much, probably almost maybe twice the width on a field cultivator than what you can a high-speed disc. Just, again, to give you a little bit of an idea there. You know, field cultivator, you know, probably twice the width of the high-speed disc, but you're only going maybe half the speed. And that's maybe. First thing, you've got the high-speed disc, smaller, but you're going basically probably twice as fast. Almost to the field here. And double check here. It should say the field needs rolling, right? Needs rolling. Yep. All the field. Well, I shouldn't say all the fields. Oh, I didn't roll the oat field, huh? It's probably a little too late for that. Ooh, a little past our turn here. We need to turn at County Road 45. Oh, okay. County Road 30 and County Road 45. Wow. Very original names. I will say, though, I mean, if I had to pick road names, Evan, those are some pretty simple ones there. You know, compared to some of the road names around here. What always gets me, Evan, sometimes with the road names, too, is you have a road that ends up with, like, 3 or 4 different names. Like, really? Why do we have to have 3 names on the road? And then, of course, then you get the road that crosses the county line, and it changes the name again. And even within that county, the road has... Oh, wait, we got to do... There we go. I was like, why is it not folding out? Had the tractor selected there, and that would be why. And we could probably turn the blinkers off here at this point, I think. No option to lower on this roller. Pretty straightforward. Once it's unfolded, it's down. Again, typically the way most rollers are. Really not a need to raise these up usually. Oh, missing just a little bit there. Nope, there we go. Much better. Looks like I missed maybe just a little bit with a planter there as well, it looks like. Boy, so much for missing spots. I was actually that close, or just that's the way the field is along the edge there. Either way. You know what? I should probably set this up with GPS, shouldn't I? This is a nice straight line. Why not? And again, I think we're going to want 0 degrees. No, we're not. We're going to want 90 degrees. I know what's going to happen otherwise. It won't load. Then we go back to 0 degrees. There we go. Basically, the bug with GPS, everyone, if you try to load it up, say I already loaded up, I think, once here this episode. I loaded it up on, what was it? Oh, the field 43 with planting. I'm going to load up the 0 degree course on that field. Now that I'm in another tractor, I try to load up that 0 degree course. It will not load. It'll only load once. And then you got to select another one. Then you can go back to it. So you can't load up the same route twice in a row. Again, just a bug that has always existed in the GPS mod here. Mod author, unfortunately, has never fixed that bug. And a bug that doesn't happen quite as often, but every so often the GPS locks up too, essentially, and you can't actually, like, turn it off. So you actually got to, like, turn the full GPS mod on and off. Otherwise, your tractor just keeps on going. It's like, oh boy, stop, tractor. I think it's happened more on the multiplayer than it has on single player. I know it's happened on single player before, but not maybe quite as common. Okay, locking on. And we'll see if we can load up some comments here a moment. And while the comments are loading, by the way, if you haven't already, click the subscribe button. And don't forget to do so. Always very much appreciated. And, of course, once you are subscribed, make sure you turn on your notifications. You get notified of the latest, greatest Upper Mississippi River episode going live. And then, of course, if you like these videos, Evan, well, you know what to do. Give them a thumbs up. Or if you don't, well, I guess give it a thumbs down then. Anyway, speaking of the comments, let's head over there. Hetro was saying, have you seen the Big Flats Texas map? For a 1X map, the fields are huge. Ooh, it's been a while since I've played on a Texas map, and no, I have not seen that map yet. I like to say the last Texas map I played on was a 4X Texas map, which seems appropriately sized for a Texas map, if you ask me. I mean, Texas, you know, there's a big one there, right? Oh, wrong one. Meant to just realign it. There we go. I think I'm so used to, you know, you get to the end of the field and you gotta rotate it. Well, I keep wanting to do that, but in this case, I don't actually need to, like, rotate. I just need to move it over a little bit. It's like when I was planting, I didn't move over either, did I? Oh, well. Hetro was asking another question here. He was saying, good video, by the way. And then also, what is a shader cache, and should it be deleted? I have some color of grass bleeding on the roads on the map I'm on, but it disappears when I come near it. The shader cache, and I'm not going to necessarily pretend to understand completely what it does, everyone, but yes, it can be safely deleted, and Farming Simulator, the game, will regenerate the cache file. What you might notice, though, is over the next, maybe hour or so, the game's going to be a little, laggy while that shader cache generates. But yes, if you're having, wrong button. If you're having, some sort of graphical glitches, that is always a little trick with Farming Simulator. Try deleting the shader cache and see if it fixes the problem. A lot of times it does. Mind you, if you're not having any problems, then you definitely don't need to delete it. Move that GPS over just a little bit there. There we go. I like that a little better. Norton was saying you can realistically plant around 220 acres of corn on one fill with either the 48 or the 24 row planter, and roughly 50 acres of soybeans per fill. Not sure on other crop types. And that's actually what I was kind of saying there last episode. Between the 24 row and the 48 row, I do believe the capacity of the seeder is basically the same. So really the only difference that one is you're able to plant 48 rows at a time versus 24. So basically twice as fast, right? Almost. But again, it's only going to hold basically the same amount of seed. So you're going to go through the seed, at least on the 48 row, twice as fast as well. Nathan was saying, great video, and didn't you have pigs? Pigs? I should probably go check on the pigs. Yes, good point there, Nathan. He also says, keep up the good work. Hey, thank you very much for that. Yeah, saving content. How are the pigs looking? It's been a little while since I've checked on them, I do believe. Pigs are actually looking good. Cool. They got plenty of food. Should be good for a bit. And I just looked over at the time. It looks like it is about time to wrap it up here for this episode. So on that note, if you folks have any comments and or questions, be sure to leave them down below. And as always, Evan, thanks for watching. Until next time.